up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Fitness Studios on Woodward Avenue, man.
Bro, how's your weekend?
Yo, you know what? I had a good weekend. Went to a family camp, picked up kid Kool-Aid. He played a lot of sports. Got to get some swimming in. Got to get over to Silver Beach, man. It was dope. I was St. Joseph's. It was dope.
Oh, it's beautiful over there.
It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then on the drive home, fireworks, bro.
You saw them as you were driving back?
Oh, no, I'm talking about in the Detroit sports world, brother.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So much happened this week. So little happened, it feels like, on Thursday. And then all of a sudden by yesterday afternoon, it was like, all right, dominoes start falling. NBA free agency, NHL free agency starts today at noon. It's going to be a wild time. Like July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day. And we got fireworks.
Yeah, we had breaking news, 3 of them. We started the day with the coaching breaking news with the Detroit Pistons. Then you get into CADE Cunningham Max, and then Patty Kane. I know we're going to get into it a little bit more, but I want to say what up, though, to the booth as well. And shout out Flannel Sam, the 5th member of the squad, the vet of the squad. Shout out to you, brother. He will be on Big D Energy today. And shout out to that dude, Justin, the 6th man. Hey, what up, though? KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. We got Black Hollywood activated.
Yes, we do. It's a sunny day outside, so I had to rock the shades. But how y'all doing, man? Great weekend. A lot of news, man. Excited to break down this Pistons coaching hire, man. Very interesting.
There's so much swag coming out of that booth right now.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I want
swear.
to hear you talk about the Pistons coaching search and all that type of stuff, but anything on the Lions defense?
Huh?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
All right, thank you, KG.
What are these inside jokes you're sharing?
Thank you, Calvin. That's what
Kelvin Shepard.
I got it.
See, he didn't even get it.
Yeah, I'm still calibrating, man.
Hey,
You
look,
can't
man,
be hitting me with that.
It's a Monday, and we're still processing all this breaking news. What up, though? The Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth, JBSMOOOOOV. It's Tuesday. It's just a day away, brother.
Hello. What's up, fellas? Oh, man, amazing weekend. Amazing Sunday, too, by the way. Shout out to AEW, that Forbidden Door.
Man, that main event was fire, boy.
I was about to say, explain the shirt.
I mean, AEW Forbidden Door was yesterday, and can I just say, Swerve, Will Ospreay, every single move was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Like, I can't even explain it. It was just amazing, man.
Yeah, good card, though. That whole
amazing
card was really good.
Dog. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
So much. By the way, Aaron Pfeiffer, $10 super chat. Thank you, Aaron. She says, what we all really want to know is when the Lions win Super Bowl. Are y'all going to go full Petey Pablo on stream? Yes?
Hell yeah.
Yes? You guys going to freak a leak?
Bruh.
Yeah?
Monique.
You want to see my goodies?
Keisha.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Monique. Christina.
You remember all? Do you know more names than Freak a Leak or Mambo number 5?
Ooh, a little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit. I got to go back for both of those, man.
Right?
But
Classics,
two great songs. Hell yeah.
Classic. Shout out Russ Wilson.
How was your weekend, brother?
Oh, it was great. This is the most rested I felt on a Monday in a really long time. I'm so jacked up. We have sorry, Aaron. We don't have a lot of Lions to talk about today. We have so much Pistons, so much Red Wings, a little bit of Tigers. They had a heinous weekend out in LA. What the
weekend?
Yeah.
Heinous. Horrible. It was a debacle. Fortunately, we got actual good things to talk about with the Pistons and with the Red Wings, which is going to be the focus of today.
And these
a lot
are
of
less heinous.
They do. A lot of Pistons in the first hour, some Red Wings in the second hour. We're going to squeeze some Tigers in there. But, man, it's July 1st. We were talking before the show, Bobby Bonilla Day. That doesn't ring a bell for you? Have you heard that story?
No.
Former Mets player Bobby Bonilla?
No, you have to explain this to me.
Yes, back
it down.
in, I want to say, shoot, I just looked up a lot of the details. Forgot the exact date. He was signed. He had like 1 year, $5.9 million left on his contract with the Mets. Back in the day, back in the or the bubbling up of the Bernie Madoff days.
Oh, wow.
The Mets ownership group.
Yeah.
Shout out Fred Wilpon, University of Michigan. The Mets had some money tied up in the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. They were expecting big time returns. So they decided instead of paying Bobby Bonilla, a 1 year, $5.9 million buyout, or just cutting him or just eating that, they were like, hey, let's buy you out over 25 years. We're going to give you every July 1st.
Because that's intelligent.
Every July 1st from 2011 to 2035, the Mets pay Bobby Bonilla $1.193 million.
Wow.
And today he cashed in.
Today he got another check, another direct deposit right in his account, just over $1 million till 2035.
Damn.
Shout out. That's winning.
Yeah.
You know who else
I'm
is
trying
winning?
to see
though?
what that's like.
The chat family, man. As always, you guys are the most
Squad.
important part of this Wake Up Woodward family and this platform. Go ahead and smash that like button. Just satisfy it. Treat it good. Take it out to dinners. Come on, KG. What up, though, Black Hollywood?
Hey, you know what it is, man. I see you looking at the like button over there. How about you go ahead and press it real slow, real gentle?
I'm scared to put my earpiece all the way in my ear.
Yeah, you should.
You probably
baby.
shouldn't do that.
Might get dirty.
Call me Barry Manilow.
Come on, man. Go ahead and hit that like button.
Sexual.
It's like Broder can be the MC too, man.
I try. Yeah. You know what else gets me kind of, did I say hot and bothered?
Hey,
Steve
talk to me,
Yzerman.
man.
Steve Yzerman.
The Yzer plan.
Yeah, the man.
Yep, and full of
Another one of those men. He can just have my body.
Oh, wait.
Take it. It's all
Damn,
you.
I hit the wrong sound messing with you.
Yep. Hey, it's Monday. Gotta start hot. Did you see? We included Around the City is back because there's multiple storylines around this city that we got to talk about.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes. Number one. I'll tee myself up. Patrick Kane is back. Steve Yzerman's already winning free agency. Not that this is like a Stanley Cup winning move, but he got Patrick Kane back on his terms.
Yeah.
1 year, $4 million base salary, got $2.5 million in incentives. But all the question marks, were they going to be able to get Kane back? Is Yzerman going to have to go to 2 or 3 years, which he didn't want to do.
Right.
He wanted to give Kane one year, which he did. 1 year, $4 million.
Yep.
I think it's a big signing for the Red Wings. We're going to talk about it more in the second hour of the show. They also drafted, let me make sure I pronounce this right wing Michael Brandstad-Nygaard from Norway, out of Sweden, out of the Swedish Hockey League. They drafted him first round, number 15 overall. 7 other prospects over the weekend in the NHL draft. Huge weekend for the Red Wings. Free agency in the NHL starts today at noon. We've already seen some chips fall. Patrick Kane, obviously re-signing with the Red Wings. There's going to be a lot about Steven Stamkos today. Trade rumors with Jacob Trouba, another Michigan man. Go blue.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be an exciting day. I'm excited for Big D Energy. I'm excited to tap in for Big D Energy. There's going to be a ton breaking at noon. Flannel and Neil are going to be rocking that for sure.
All right, I got to shout out Dante151.
Yes.
Big shout
Super
out.
chat. Then there's Brad Hendricks right after him.
Brad Hendricks G.
Shout out.
Yeah, don't read his comments.
Oh, okay.
Even though Swerve and Osprey was good, the match of the night was a tie between the between the TNT title ladder match and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. Great PPV.
Yeah.
PPV, also JHM and the Inside the Park home run.
Yeah, I thought the John Moxley match was pretty good too. The John Moxley versus Kato. I always get his name mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Mato.
pronounce it
But
either.
yeah, for the NWJP World title, I probably said that wrong too. I'm just having a rough morning, y'all. But that was a really good match. But yeah, that 6-man ladder match for the TNT title. Mark Briscoe, shout out, man. But yeah, hell of a match, man. Hell of a match.
That was a good card.
Frisco. Yeah. Also, JHM Justin Henry Malloy inside the park home run against the Angels. Craig Monroe, when we get to the Tigers, we're going to be discussing that. Dude seems to be in some trouble.
So shout out Brad
Some
Hendricks.
like big time trouble.
Yeah.
If what's out is
It's
accurate.
real.
So Maz tipped me off to this last week, and I couldn't believe it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I could not believe what I'd heard come out of Maz's mouth.
Something's fishy.
Yeah.
I'm not defending anybody.
Wait,
The allegations are horrible.
Yep. And
Well-
what did you say, KG?
No, I was just saying it's pretty bad. If the allegations are true, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Horrible. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like there's a max contract coming out of Detroit Pistons camp.
Yes.
What's happening? What's brewing? It's the morning. The coffee's brewing, but what's brewing in Pistons camp?
Hey, you know what's brewing in the Pistons camp? It's CADE zone, man.
Is it happening?
It's happening. It's happening, man. It's been reported via Shams. And the Athletic, Cade Cunningham is signing a 5-year, $226 million extension with the Detroit Pistons.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
a lot of cash, Shola.
it is.
It's a lot of paper, man.
It is, but they had to do it.
Yeah.
Now it's time to build around him, right?
Yeah.
They started making some moves this weekend, both with the coaching staff and a couple players, both previously on the Pistons roster, also bringing in what many think is an expiring contract, but maybe he's going to play a little bit more. What are some of these moves that happened this weekend for the Pistons, Mr. Aide?
Yeah, listen, you're talking about Tim Hardaway Jr., and we discussed that trade a little bit last week.
It broke right at the end of the
It
show.
kind of broke right at the end of the show, but I like what he brings, man. I like what he brings, especially when you look at his catch and shoot 3-point percentage numbers. He's a high volume 3-point shooter. When you look at someone like a Jaden Ivey, who I believe took some good strides last season with his 3-point shooting, Jaden Ivey's shooting about 3.5 threes per game, 3.5 to 4 threes a game, shooting about 34% from behind the arc. Tim Hardaway is shooting like 7.5 threes per game and shooting about 36% from behind the arc. Volume scorer. He was the top 3 scorer on a team that made it to the finals. So within that type of a role, where obviously he's going to have to take a clear back seat to guys like Luka and Kyrie, and he's coming off of the bench, he was still managed to become the third best, third overall leading scorer on that team. And I like this pickup for the Pistons. You talk about a guy who ultimately is going to play.
Yes. Let's talk about it later on. We'll break it down a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
What are some of the other moves that happened? There's a coach. I'm teeing you up for the coach.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to JB Smooth. This was
Part
his
two.
pick all along. JB
Right.
Bickerstaff.
Everyone-
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Pause.
Head coach.
Everyone's stealing from JB Smooth this morning. I was listening to the radio station in town,
Oh, man.
and I hear a "What's Trending"
Yeah,
segment.
I heard that too.
Yep.
It's
Like
crazy.
not even renaming it something else. Obviously, what's trending is what's trending. But still, I do like Costa and Jansen, so no
Y'all do.
big deal. But they took a little
Y'all
what's trending.
watch it
so
over there, man.
I'm not
We-
trying to.
We watching y'all, man.
Yeah.
Y'all watch what y'all doing over there.
I just think it's funny.
But
But sorry,
Hollywood-
JB Smooth Part 2, JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, JB Bickerstaff. He had some success with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know how much people like the what you would consider the playoff flameouts. That became the instant narrative with JB Bickerstaff's announcement of being hired. Is he's had some success in the regular season. He's had some success as it relates to developing young players. He's had some success with getting his teams to the playoffs and getting them some really good seeds. But he hasn't been able to cash in despite the talent that they have had. You know, they got Evan Mobley. They went and traded for Donovan Mitchell, and they traded for Jaron Allen, and they put together a pretty good cast of characters that you would think would be formidable in this East and have a really good shot at making it to the finals every single year. For me personally, where the Detroit Pistons are at right now, though, for everything I feel like the Pistons need right now, whether this is a stopgap coach, whether this is the coach that's going to take the Detroit Pistons into playoff contention, I believe Bickerstaff is the right coach in terms of his discipline, in terms of being able to kind of command the room, accountability.
Defense.
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 And you know what? I know a lot of people have some concerns about his offense. I don't have as much concern about his offense as long as the staff that they put around him, it has some strengths in those departments, in those areas. But JB Bickerstaff to the Detroit Pistons, it's a 5-year contract. 4 years of it is guaranteed. But JB Smooth, I got to get your take
The show
on
guy,
JB
man.
Bickerstaff to the Detroit Pistons. They got their head coach, man. I think it's a good move overall.
I mean, they got their head coach, and, shout out to everyone biting our style out there and whatnot. But still, I think it's a good fit. I think this will actually help, and this will give the Pistons some kind of directions in where they want to go, especially with this team as well, too. You got something, Kool-Aid? Are you good?
Oh no, you keep going. You keep going.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I definitely think this will help the Pistons and figure out their direction. And he's a good fit. He's known to help veterans, and he's also known to be patient with these new rookies and this young class that we have right now to kind of help them gel and mold together. And as you said before, hey, in the previous 3 seasons when Bickerstaff with the Cavs, they finished the top 10 in defense. So if anything, this year Pistons will have defense. We know that for damn sure.
It's at least going to be the focus.
That's at least going to be the focus. Offense will come as soon as we get in some more talent here in the city. But I think it's a good pick. I went online yesterday and seen a lot of negativity and a lot of hate around this guy. Right. And how it was just like, oh, you guys went from Monty to an even worse coach now, which I completely disagree. But that's just me.
Let's talk about it.
There's a lot of hate around this guy. I don't know why.
Let's break it down here in the next segment.
Yeah, I do, because I see Brad Hendricks. Oh, Brad Hendricks. Of course, Kool-Aid agrees with the move the Pistons make, shaking my head. This is not the move that I would have made, but I also don't think that it's a bad move. We're going to talk about it more in the next segment. I can tell you what I thought would have been the best move to make for head coach, but for right now, I'm going to have to tell you guys about where you can take your pet to get the best, and that is Premier Pet Supply. It is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They also offer over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, get your pet the best. Visit them online as well, www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
What happens when you're in a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. They still offer the same great service that their customers have come to know and expect, so go check them out on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. You can also check them out in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive. You know where we driving?
Where?
Right down the legendary, the historic Woodward Avenue, where all 4 sports teams play. One of the most unique sports situations in all of America, and all of just sports in general, man. Detroit, trendsetters. Now we just got to get the teams with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't talk about in the first segment?
What?
Woodward Sports, we back?
Hey!
We back? We back? Premium X is gone?
Woodward Sports on X is back.
Yup.
You know what? Listen, bro, there was a lot of praying. There was a lot of work behind the scenes. There was a lot of support from people internal and from people external. And I'm telling you, me personally, I got to be true to what makes me what I hope to be the best to you guys. Thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There was a lot of praying, man. A lot of endowment, a lot of things that just happened right for us. So I just have to
I
do
told
that.
you, man.
So, yeah.
You were praying on the positives. There were many praying on the downfall. It's funny. It's funny how we go away and all of a sudden the chirping starts.
Playing on my downfall.
Yeah,
back, man.
People still don't even get what
talk.
Woodward Sports is. Like, they lump everything together. Nonetheless, we got plenty to talk about. No need to throw the shade on a Monday morning. There's plenty of happy stuff.
Oh, man, Spicy Broder, though, is
I mean, you can come out.
Viewing.
You can come out if you want.
It's like must-see JV. There's,
Scoobs.
Crown, Miggy,
Scoobs.
Spicy Broder.
Yup. Scoobs is pitching tonight, by the way, against the Twins. Yeah, they got a 3-game series with the Twins.
Yep.
No lefties on the mound for the Twins, so there's a chance they can score some runs. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Last little quick note before we jump back into the JB Bickerstaff.
Yes, sir.
Kirk Gibson Foundation for Parkinson's. They have a special summer store. And not normally do I direct you to another merch store. This one is one that I want you to go to. Till July 7th, they got special deals in support of the Kirk Gibson Foundation. So I posted a link in the chat. I'm going to do it once more right now. Go buy a shirt. They got dog bandanas. They got all kinds of things. Go check them out.
You should pin that.
I got you.
I will. I will. I also have a lot of chat polls. We'll see if JB is able to keep up with my ADHD show prep today. I wanted to try some, it's July 1st.
Yeah.
It's a weird week. So I put in just like a bunch of future topics. What do we want to talk about tomorrow? What do we want to talk? I put some Thursdays in there. So cancel the Thursday because we're not going to be live on Thursday. But I just want to see, what do you guys want to talk about later in the week? Tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday. So we'll see. I'm going to try them out, build the shows around what you guys want to talk about.
Let's go.
How about that?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to serve the audience. Obviously, we're going to report on what we have to report on.
Oh, yeah.
But to have really this kind of authentic dialogue and engagement with the chat family, let's go, man.
Epic. So we just started talking about it. JB Bickerstaff, fired from Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers fired him in May. Would they get eliminated in the second round of the playoffs? Mm-hmm. So he's had success. I guess Cleveland just felt they should have performed better. I liked how Cleveland played basketball. I like how they came together as a team these last 2 years with a lot of players I really like, but weird fits. Like when we're talking Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen,
Isaac Okoro.
Who's the big guy who was drafted Cade's year?
Evan Mobley.
Yeah. But I thought they played really well. They thought they played team defense. He's creative offensively, but he's a defensive-minded head coach. And although the NBA is going scoring, I really like having some guy like this, both with experience and some creativity on offense and defense, to come and just reset this organization from a basketball standpoint.
Yeah, and sometimes, and some of the rumors I kind of seen out there is that maybe Bickerstaff, despite how good he is of a coach, didn't quite mesh with Donovan Mitchell, which is an individual that we just saw the Cleveland Cavaliers make a long-term investment too. Mm-hmm. Obviously, these are rumors. It's not something that I know on a personal level, so I don't want to put that out there as if it is gospel or truth. But those are some of the things that have kind of gone around the kind of interwebs. And so maybe Bickerstaff is a better fit for this Detroit Pistons team, which is kind of rudderless right now, without a player of the kind of that has that the level of aura that a Donovan Mitchell brings with him to an organization. So Bickerstaff will be able to come here, understanding that Trajan Langdon made this hire. Everybody understands this. This is something where you got to do what this guy says do, because this is what the organization, this is what the CEO of the organization, the voice of the organization as it relates to Detroit Pistons basketball, has now stated. And so from that perspective, I am hoping that the players that are here and anybody that they see fit to bring in kind of follows his voice, because you guys are right. The defense that we saw, despite what some people say about his inability to make, offensive adjustments in a pinch, the defense that we saw and the steps that we need this Detroit Pistons team to take, JB Bickerstaff will help this team take those steps if they listen.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in. When you pair that with the expected CADE Cunningham Max, these two are now going to be tied together. They can start fresh. And although we probably said the same thing with Monty last year, like,
this one feels a little different.
It does. It does. A little bit. And I don't understand how people can say Monty, swim circles around JB Bickerstaff. I don't think Monty Williams is a bad coach. I just think last year, I think it's an outlier. And I think there was a million different things going on. His personal situation, it wasn't the right time. It should never have happened. I wish him well, but I like this new energy coming into the building. Yeah. When you add guys like JB Bickerstaff, we're talking about a 5-year max. We're bringing in veteran. Maybe it's a year, maybe it's a half a year. There are going to be more contracts that the Pistons take on this year. But when you start bringing in guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., it just feels like we can actually start over. You know, a lot of people have been maybe clamoring or thought we're going to have to move on from a Jaden Ivey or a Duren or a Beef Stew. They're still here, but it still feels like a new team is brewing. Does that make sense?
I think what it is the Detroit Pistons were in a position to take this step this way. So when you added Tim Hardaway Jr. to this collection of young talent with the cap space that you have in the basketball-minded Trajan, you feel really comfortable about what's going on. If you added Tim Hardaway Jr. to the team that, Troy Weaver stepped into, or the team before it that Ed Stefanski and Arn Tellem were kind of GMing and president of basketball operating, then you're not as excited about it. And so I don't think you throw away the positives that had happened before as if that they're not a part of the foundation. You're giving CADE the max right now. That came as a part of the previous foundation that just didn't get it done overall. But in terms of what Trajan's able to do, I'm believing that he has a better eye for what the talent on this team is than maybe we believe.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what that represents. That he's like, you know what, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson, because we still don't know what's going to happen as free agency plays itself out. Maybe Trajan's letting to see something in these young guys, and he's like, you know what, let's just bring in a couple of the right vets like they tried to do the previous couple years, but let's actually get vets that can play. Let's get vets that will contribute. Let's get vets that mesh and fit a little bit better with our young talent to give them their best potential to succeed. Because we see these other squads like the Orlando Magic going out there and getting just the right types of vets. We see the Houston Rockets going out there and getting just the right types of vets surrounding the young player. It's not even like they're going out there and, getting 5, 6, 7 new additions. They just adding like 1 or 2 players, and their teams are just taking off. I'm hoping Trajan Langdon has more of an eye for that if the patient route with the young players is the way they're going to go.
Yeah, and that's really all it is, because he's proven that if you feel the right kind of team with the right kind of players, he can't turn this into a winning situation. His last 3 years with Cleveland, all winning seasons. Of course, we know about the playoff mishaps, but, at first I was kind of iffy on it. Not to say I hated it. I didn't hate it, but, I had to digest it a little more. And then after, looking into it, I feel better about this hire. To me, yes, Monty may be a better coach on paper, but JB Bickerstaff is the better fit. And for one, he wants to be here, so that's automatically gets you probably more wins than you had last year. He wants to be here, and yeah, man, he came from a lot of shit situations, for lack of better words, man. I think he started with the Rockets right behind the Kevin McHale firing, then in Memphis behind the David Fizdale situation. Does a year there, gets fired. So while he's had a lot of success, it's going to be, up to him to prove that, he's more the last 3 years than earlier in his career. So
and they took over for John Beilein.
Yeah.
And that ushered in a rebuild for the Cavaliers, and it was ugly for a couple years. And Ryan's reaction, I hope this actually was enough background. I was going to tee up Kool-Aid for it, but KG just crushed the history of JB Bickerstaff. But he had taken over for that mess that was, the post-mortem of John Beilein in Cleveland, and really truly ushered that rebuild into what I think is a team that can contend consistently in the Eastern Conference for a couple of years, depending on what they do. I like that roster a lot. And maybe Darius Garland, maybe he wants to follow JB Bickerstaff to Detroit.
Maybe. And for me personally, I liked candidates like maybe Sam Cassell, who just won a championship with the Boston Celtics. We've talked about these candidates on these airways plenty of times, Brad Hendricks. Other people like Chris Quinn as well. I was hoping the Detroit Pistons could go out there and take a swing at that. Maybe some first-time coaches like a Sean Sweeney. But this, to me, signals that maybe the Detroit Pistons have some place and plan to help lead these young players. They don't need a coach who's learning on the fly. Any of the young players you're going to keep, I believe they need a guy like a JB Bickerstaff.
They absolutely need stability at this point in their franchise. And you're getting a guy who is way more relatable to the young talent than Monty probably ever will be or ever was. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like you said, he's defensive minded. You have a Ron Holland, you having a Sar Thompson on this team. So I'm interested to see how he works with all these pieces. Of course, there's more work to be done still, but looking forward to what he can maybe bring, man. He's got a fire too. He ain't no slouch, man. We know about the videos of him arguing with refs on the sideline as well. He's got a little fire to him.
I like it.
Oh yeah,
I like it. Let's keep the
keep
the conversation going here into the next segment. It was a great transition because Kool-Aid was at Ron Holland II's press conference.
Yes, sir.
And I want to play a clip of Kool-Aid just dropping great questions for these players that to answer. Want to talk about this Cade Cunningham contract, Tim Hardaway coming, Quentin Grimes going, some of the other moves that might be happening.
And it's cool to be able to kind of talk Ron Holland and Cade Cunningham in this segment because one of the other questions I got to ask him, I don't know if I'll be able to get the clip up in time, was about their connection.
Okay.
They've been we'll talk about it. Cade Cunningham, Ron Holland.
Hold the good stuff.
Yeah.
Hold it. Let me tell you first about Dispo, because this summer, Dispo Dispensary is turning up the heat with amazing giveaways and exclusive offers. Enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey. Enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey and helmet from your favorite sports team. I know what you're talking about. I know those colors. Screenshot this image with the QR code. Bring it into one of the Dispo locations to get scanned. You'll get a free $10 to spend in store. This will automatically qualify you for the giveaway. That's it. Dispo Dispensary. Go visit them today. DispoShops.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Fitness that fits your budget?
What?
No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, got friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost?
Hey, what?
Do you want all the perks, KG?
Yes.
Upgrade to the Planet Fitness Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa with the hydro massage chairs, total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide with, get this, unlimited guest privileges. You can bring a guest anytime you want. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? You know what? My only question is, do they accept the Black Fitness card?
The Black Fitness card.
Yeah. The one you exposed last week. Just gave away our secrets.
Go back to Friday's show if y'all understand what we talking about.
Do you have that copyrighted? Because there was a copyrighted little R symbol up in the corner.
Really?
Next to the PF Black card. Yeah. And it must date way back. I'm not going to touch that.
We play a lawyer games now. That's what we doing?
So did you hear Freddie Fell Through on 3 coined a new nickname for the Pistons coach? JB BICKERSMOOOOV.
Hey.
Actually, BICKERSMOOOOV.
Yeah, 4 O's, 1 V.
Yes,
4 O's,
JB
1
Bigger
V.
Bicker
Smooth.
smooth.
Yeah. Hey, I like.
Let's hope he Bicker smooth.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. It's like this isn't one where I'm going like, yeah, that's the guy that I wanted, but it's just like, it's not a bad hire. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's a bad hire or Tim Hardaway is a bad pickup. Like these are things that I believe with Tim Hardaway. I like the fact that he plays. He's going to be available. We're not talking about signing somebody who's a little bit hobbled. And then if he does ball out, you're looking at an expired contract in which you can get even more capital. You know, they got some draft capital being able to participating in this deal. And down the road, if he balls out, you can definitely flip him. And if you believe, you know what, he's right in terms of that vet voice in the locker room and can also be on the court and play and help our young guys, then you talk about something long-term at a cheaper contract.
Yeah. No, I love the move. I love that this is the type of expiring contract they're taking on, a veteran shooter, and for however long he's with us. There's nothing you need to worry about with Tim Hardaway. I know he didn't get much time down the stretch. He kind of got worked out of the playoff rotation for the Mavs. Yeah. But I think he averaged about 14 points during the regular season before he got hurt near the end. And I got to know him actually pretty well. We went to Michigan together.
Of course.
And he is a good dude. And he did sign that contract. I think I don't want to say derailed his career. He's been stuck in Dallas when they haven't been as great. Yeah. But he signed that massive contract after performing in New York with the Knicks. And it just kind of, I don't know. I feel like he's just been stuck down in Dallas. But he's that type of guy, whether you have him coming off the bench, maybe he starts at the beginning of the season. He's one of those wing players that can really help. I don't want to say he's a two-way player anymore. I don't know what kind of defense he can provide. But catch and shoot threes,
let's say this,
that veteran presence, I dig it.
I like Jaden Ivey. And Tim Hardaway Jr. actually has a higher defensive
really?
Yeah, defensive rate than Jaden Ivey.
That's wild.
So it's
makes sense.
Yeah, and what I'm hoping is that someone like Tim Hardaway can come here and help players like Jaden Ivey take that next step, in their development in their game. So
KG.
I wanted to ask the question because I feel with that trade, Hardaway, he's going to end up being maybe a trade target, if he comes in and plays well. I think Trajan may be looking to move him to maybe acquire some future assets. Do you think that's the plan for Tim Hardaway going forward?
I think it's the option. It's exactly what we said. You got both options available here. One in which if he balls out, you're looking at a player that you can flip for more assets, more than you already got in taking on his contract. And then if you believe, though, that this is the right vet voice, like you're talking about this guy, he gels with the squad. He's a good co-leader for CADE Cunningham. He's a good mentor and a teacher for these wings and these guards. Then you're looking at a guy that you're trying to get back here on a little bit more long-term deal on a cheaper contract, especially for a guy like Tim Hardaway, who we know, shout out to his father, too, Tim Hardaway Sr. Man, he used to throw some basketball cans back in the day. Yeah. But, when
one of the best crossovers of all time.
One of the best, man.
If not the best. Yeah. The best crossover. Not the best ball handler of all time, but did he have the best crossover? Or at least
one of them.
Was the first?
One of them, definitely.
One of them.
Yeah.
One of them. But shout out to them. It's like, he wears his emotions on the sleeve, and he just put it out there like they want to be somewhere where they're wanted. Probably especially at this point in Tim Hardaway's career. And it was cool to see how excited he was about it as well, posting all over socials. But, to answer your question, you got to keep the option open. If he plays well, you got to get more assets in here.
Yeah. And you wonder how much this probably isn't at the top of the reason why they brought him in. Maybe it wasn't even considered, but having played with Luka, we talk about CADE having a somewhat similar game, or at least there's some similarities in their pace of play and stuff. Being a veteran wing who played with Luka, I'm sure he's got some tips to help CADE along. Let's just real briefly, since we're on the free agent topic, we're on the expiring contract, before we start talking Ron Holland, there were some other moves that they made. And obviously in this trade, Quentin Grimes went to Dallas. He's probably a guy Dallas is going to buy out or cut. I don't know if he's in their long-term plans, but they signed an undrafted free agent out of Mississippi State, a forward center, Tolu Smith. 6'11". I don't know much about him, but I know he's the dude's got a motor. He's from Hawaii. Played at Mississippi State.
I need to get more familiar with his game. Like I look forward to diving into. I know he's going to be on the summer league roster. I sent in the credential stuff and everything, talked to the people. So it's looking good for your boy. Going to be out there and get to talk to these guys.
You're not going to see Buddy Boeheim, the guard forward. He was waived from his two-way contract. And they declined the $19 million team option for guard Evan Fournier. This is a salary cap move, right? This clears up a lot.
It was what everybody knew. As soon as you traded for Evan Fournier, everybody knew that contract was not going to be on those books this coming season.
All right.
Yeah. And I just wanted to elaborate on the Hardaway trade. They got 3 second-round picks, and I remember you were saying last week that second-round picks are a little bit more valuable. Of course, on the surface, people looked at that and was like, that's not really doing much in terms of, trying to build a war chest. Can you elaborate and explain why the second-round picks may be a little more valuable this time around?
Well, one, with this coming draft, is loaded straight up.
Yeah.
So second round picks are already going to take on a little bit better value. But there are some rules within the CBA that make it a little bit better for teams to be able to, and a little bit more valuable for teams to have second round picks based on the way that the guarantees are with the first aprons and all these new rules. So these second round contracts, have become very, very valuable when you talk about trying to move contracts off the books.
Yeah.
We just saw that's what Dallas just did, right?
Yep.
And so those 3 second round picks, they become something valuable coming to Detroit, as well as if they want to turn around and be able to, like the report said, flip those second rounders into low-level first-round picks.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I dig it. Let's talk about Ron Holland real quick, because next segment, we're going to dive into the free agent market. I got a game. Snatch or scratch coming up next. I'm going to put some options in front of you. And there's some hypothetical scenarios. Just let it go. Just snatch or scratch.
Okay.
We'll explain. But let's talk about this Ron Holland press conference, Gloyd. What was it like down there? Tee up your video.
You know what? This kid. You know what? This setting was probably the most intimate setting we've had for a Detroit Pistons press conference. It overlooked the practice court. It was in kind of this ball type room. Every time I see this room, they're always having some type of a banquet there. Generally, when we have press conferences, it's either in the smaller media room or it's in the big practice facility, and you got hundreds of people there. This one was really cool setting for Ron Holland and his family that were in attendance, as well as I saw Jared Jack there, got to talk to him for a little bit.
Shout out.
Saw a lot of our other media in attendance as well. And you know what? Shout out, bro. There were several people who were like, yo, man, hey, look, we watch our show. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to you all as well. But it was a really, really, really cool setting. With everything that was going on, didn't get there until about 5 minutes before the press conference. And they started on time this time.
Hey.
But shout out to Pistons PR for holding a seat for your boy.
Oh, yeah.
It was dope.
Big time.
Remind Neil of this.
I definitely will.
Just so he knows.
Hey, shout out to Neil, though, man. Shout out to Neil. He's put in a lot of kind words for Kool-Aid. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But I got to ask a question during the regular press conference, and then during the media scrums, got to ask a couple more questions to him. And obviously, the question is going to be based a little bit more on what's already been asked as well. So I had 6 or 7 questions. First 3 or 4 were asked before I even got the mic. It's based on seniority. And so
I know if everything you want to ask, if you don't get that first question, which is usually directed to one of the more tenured guys, you got to have options 4, 5, and 6 ready. Ready.
So you mind if I tee up? It's 3 videos. They're all pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. The first one is one with him and Trajan up on the desk. That's where within the press conference room. And I was able to ask him, what does it mean? Because Trajan Langdon had kind of described what it meant to be the type of player he's looking for. So, we say Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell guys, these are Trajan Langdon guys. He talked about who those players need to be, not just on the court, but in the weight room as well. It was interesting that he went there first. And then he said also who they are as people off the court. And so to understand the value that he places on those types of people, what does it mean to be the first addition by this front office to where the Pistons are trying to go? And he gave a pretty good answer.
Hi, Ron. Brandon Dent, Woodward Sports, and hello again, Trajan. Welcome to Detroit, Ron, and to your family. Hearing everything that Trajan values in a player, what does it mean to you to be the first addition to this front office?
It means a lot. It means that he sees a lot within me, potentially just being able to help this franchise out, and it shows that I get to come here and be myself to the best of my ability, and that's not really, hard to do. I'm a hard-working person. Passionate about the game, passionate about anything I do, really into the community. Can't wait to really get into things when it comes to the Detroit community. But I think it says a lot about who he is, who I am, and really what what I'm going to turn into as a basketball player and as a man.
He is so well composed.
I like him.
Very composed, very sure of his answers, and he pushes back against the notion that this is a weak draft. He said that he does understand that there's no clear number one, but he thinks that instead of saying it's because this is a weak draft, he's betting more on the potential on someone like himself. He still keeps his humble disposition, but he's sure of who he is as a player. He knows where he has to improve. I got to talk to, shout out to Coach Jay. One of the people connected to his camp was in some of his draft photos as well. Shout out to Ashton and Cannon as well. And he said, look, Ron Holland knows what he has to improve on. He knows he has to improve on that shooting. He has the right mechanics there. And it's just about kind of making that transition from the high school three-point to the NBA three-point line while you're still going through your strength and your development. So, you know what? When you're talking about picking in this draft, which a lot of people said, you know what? Just whatever, this draft is not that good. When you're talking about picking a draft, it's for the potential that a guy like Ron Holland can bring to the table. He was once the number 1 overall prospect.
He's Max Clark. He's Max. It's going to be a couple years till he starts coming into his own, but he's got as good an upside as anybody in this entire draft, including Saar and including Reese Sachet.
Yeah, and you know what? I asked him about that. Do you have the first video sent through? I was able to ask him about that.
That's nasty, by the way.
That is
Oh,
nasty.
yeah.
I like that.
I like that.
To the people who aren't familiar with your game here in Detroit,
Yes, sir.
who is Ron Holland?
Ron Holland, energetic person, you know what I'm saying? Kind of on the court, willing to do whatever it takes to win, whether it's score 40, whether it's score 0, and just play defense the whole game, get a lot of rebounds, just do whatever it takes to win. I feel like I'm really versatile and I'm able to do anything that my coach needs me to do.
Bling, bling.
I love
Every time I come around to see you, bling, bling.
Hey.
Chain.
Listen, you know
out.
what?
Your chain hang low.
Iced out, man. But it was done so tastefully.
Yes, yeah. He's
I
looked.
liked it.
His fit has been nice.
Yeah.
Both draft night
Oh, yeah.
and during this press conference. Don't have to worry about his pregame swag. And now it's about what's on the court. He told us who is Ron Holland. He gave us that answer.
You like to hear those answers.
You know what I love best? He's like, look, man, whether I'm scoring 40 or whether I'm scoring 0, I'm playing defense the whole entire game.
Defense.
The entire game.
Oh,
He
you
could have
gotta
said, yeah,
love
I'm going to focus on defense. It's about making sure you're putting yourself in a position to be that guy the entire game. And that was one thing. If you want to talk about all the talking heads, all the scouts, and all the people who followed this draft, the one common thread you will find is that Ron Holland has the potential to be a great NBA defender. Everyone said that this is one of his best strengths. He has the footwork. He has the instinct. He has the measurables. When you're talking about a guy who can not just play his defend man-to-man, but also help side and protect the rim a little bit, that's where you start to say, you know what? I see what this team is starting to do. What you have to do if you're the Detroit Pistons is wherever he is in his development, you can't make plans in the future for where you think he may be. What we see with the Detroit Lions is they'll pick somebody that they believe should be able to do something, but they also say, hey, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, figure it out. Yeah. And that's where I'm hoping the Pistons are at right now. The Pistons, and I'll contrast this with Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver said, you know what? Since we got Osar Thompson, we don't really want some of these other guys. We don't want to bring in somebody that can block their development or their playing time. With Trajan Langdon, I'm hoping it's more a situation where it's like, hey, we like Ron Holland, and we also like this 3 or this wing guy in free agency as well. But so far, so good. And I know the last clip we got of Ron Holland, we were able to ask him about his connection with CADE Cunningham, which I do believe, and I wonder how much it does play a role in him being here right now, too.
Yeah, let's talk about that when we get back.
Let's rock.
Cool. Tell me about all the shows coming up on this network for the rest of the day. We'll finish off that presser when we get back.
Appreciate that, brother. Hey, and you know what? We appreciate you guys for tapping in with Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Continue to hit that like button, man. We need you guys every single day. Just go ahead and satisfy that. But after that, you got to do it for all of Woodward Sports. I know you see it there on the shirt there. Started with Big D Energy, 11-1, 4-time Stanley Cup champion winner, Darren McCarty, alongside his co-host, the Golden Voice, Neil Rule. After that, you got to stay connected with Armani and Edwards with Maz. They bring you a little bit more of a national flavor as well from 2 to 4. You got the lovable radio legend Tom Mazaway alongside University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards and Detroit Media King Fox 2 Ryan Armani. And then you finish off the day with the Woodward Heavyweights, the big fellas, man, from 5 to 7, bringing you the biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, the biggest laughs. Shout out to the Mina Kimes interview they just had. You guys got to go and check that out. It's been blowing up everywhere. That's Spimo Rex. That's Big Speak Easy, baby. And that's their elite booth as well. Nick Koloff, Tailgate Always Wins, and Chris Platty. But like I told you guys already, you guys are the most important thing to us here at Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us your #1 digital sports outlet.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time. Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine. How? I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar? How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Are you dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues? Well, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham, they'll have your back. They got 10 plus years of experience. And if you're their client, they're available to you 24/7. So scan the QR code on the screen above my head right now or call 248-971-0476. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. KDK Law will pay your filing fee. How about that? KDK Law, they've definitely got your back.
Don't let her take that TV you just bought. Don't let her do it, man. Brand new flat screen, 74-inch. Don't let her do it.
Don't let her do it, man.
Don't let her do it.
Hey,
we got a shout out, KG.
Yeah, big shout out. Just Football Academy Australia in the chat. Hi, guys, from down under. Can't wait for Pistons basketball to recommence. Lions football will make it easier to be patient once they kick off. Hey, shout out to you, man, all the way from Australia.
Shout out,
Let's go.
Hey,
Christ,
we like
love.
this.
Let's
Shout
go.
out.
We got
dope.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Go, man.
I'm not drinking out the shoe, though.
What was his name again? Or his or her?
It was, hold on.
Just play football.
Just Football Academy Australia.
Hell yeah. We got to connect you. Maybe there's a little collaboration in the midst with you and Chef Talks Lions, aka the All Grit podcast. He's in Melbourne. I don't know where you are, but hey, thanks for tuning in. I know it's like tonight.
What time it
at
is
the
over
moment.
there.
It's late for you. It's getting
late as hell.
Shout out. Well, let's hop back into this. Ron Holland, last question you had at the press conference,
Yes,
and then I
sir.
have some free agent hypotheticals for you.
Yeah, we got to jump into
Hypotheticals.
it. But shout out to Ron Holland, man, for taking the time, he and his family, and giving the media all the time to ask all the questions, and he answered them quite well. One of the things that was really intriguing to me was hearing about his connection with Cade Cunningham. Kind of behind the scenes, some of our sources and some of the people we're connected to kind of reached out as well and said, yeah, there is a connection here. They're both Texas kids. They've had some experience playing in the past, and got to ask Ron Holland about that as well.
I like that.
Yep, and I know you spoke a little bit about your connection with Cade. Can you elaborate that on a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. My freshman year, Kay was a senior at Montverde. We played against each other in Hoop Fest, and then in middle school, I used to work out with him a lot. We was in the gym. I don't remember what the gym was called, but me and him had a really good connection, and I can't wait to get that connection back.
Yeah, so they're in similar circles in terms of the camps and the coaches that they're around and some of the trainers, and they got opportunities to play against each other in high school as well as in some extracurricular basketball leagues. And so this is a pick that I am certain that the Cade Cunningham camp is happy with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I believe they believe and trust in the potential of Ron Holland.
Basketball is one of those sports, other than maybe like a quarterback to receiver connection.
Yeah.
Nothing really in baseball. And there might be some of this in hockey. I'm just not as well versed in it. But playing with someone before, even if it's a couple years in advance, having that comfortability on the floor, just that especially a guy like Cade, knowing where someone's going to be on the floor, or from Ron Holland's perspective, knowing that Cade, the type of playmaker Cade Cunningham is, the type of pass-first guy he is, always expecting the ball. That seems easy or natural, especially to NBA players, but it's not. Especially, and I don't know the whole history of how Ron Holland came up and AAU versus high school versus this and that, but a lot of times there's a lot of ISO ball going on, a lot of standing around in basketball today. So for guys to be prepared to play with a guy like Cade Cunningham, prepared to constantly be moving because you know at any moment you're going to get the ball.
Yeah.
That's just not naturally in everybody. So I like that they have a history together.
Yeah, I do, especially when you know that Cade Cunningham is getting this max. One of the questions that was asked of Cade Cunningham at the exit interviews is, would you like to, and do you think you should have more of a say-so in what happens with affairs going forward from the front office? At the time, obviously, Troy Weaver was here. Now it's Trajan Langdon. And to know that this is a move that they're very, very, very happy about, it makes me a little bit more optimistic. For me personally, obviously, I'm going to report on what the organization sees in guys like Ron Holland, what the organization believes in bringing in a person like Tim Hardaway Jr. Do I want a different free agency kind of pace? I do. I wanted them, but we've talked about it. I'm not going to change on that. I believe they need to go out there and take all the swings in the world at some of these kind of disgruntled star players or work out something with these teams up against kind of the cap, or the apron. But they're not going that route. Trajan Langdon has come in, and you got to be fair. He's been honest to this.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it this route, then I just pray that you're going to be transparent and honest. And Trajan Langdon said, this is the route we're going to go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to look at these young players a little bit more and probably put them in a little bit better situation because we think they weren't really put in that situation last year. We're going to look to take on assets, even in the free agency market. We're going to look. We're going to monitor. We're going to do our due diligence, but really going to keep ourselves in position to take on bad contracts of players that can play and help us right now, but for draft capital. That's what their game plan is for at least the next few years. And they've been open and honest about that. And now we can just only really assess them on not if they're doing what I want them to do, but if they're following through on the plan that they state. Because if it takes time to build a foundation, it just takes the time to build a foundation. Rod Beard talked about this before too. When you're excavating something, even if the foundation is already poor, which there's a little bit of foundation, but we know there's some cracks and some things that got to be reset. And that's going to take a little bit of time. And I believe that Trajan wants to do this thing the right way, not skip any steps, which was his quote.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going to see play out.
Yeah, and taking on those expiring contracts. There are a couple vets that are going to be floating around. We've already seen Chris Paul get waived by the Warriors
to the Spurs.
Sign with the Spurs.
Man, what a deal.
Yeah.
We saw
That's a pairing.
Yeah,
Andre Drummond go to the 76ers.
Yeah.
KCP to the Magic.
3 years, 66
Paul
million.
George.
Paul George.
Yeah, that just
4
happened
years,
last
212.
Got that bag.
How much money
Got
has
that
he
bag.
going to be making in his NBA contract?
You talking about the Kirk Cousins of the NBA?
Yeah, Paul George.
That's
is
Paul
yes.
George. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. How about Kevin Love getting 2 years from the Heat? I don't know. He had 2 years left.
I'm hoping the Pistons find a way to stay in on this Jonas Valanciunas.
Oh, he's gone too.
Man.
He went to the Wizards.
Yeah, he
Oh, he
got signed.
did.
Yeah.
That's
3 years,
right.
30 milli.
Shout out to Troy Weaver, man. They out there getting it in at the
Yeah,
Wizards,
man.
man. Alex R.
Would've
And
liked
the
Valanciunas.
Jonas
wildest.
Valanciunas.
We like to think, and I know there are some people in the chat that think the Pistons are a most dysfunctional franchise in the league.
Yeah.
Or irrelevant. What about the Chicago Bulls? Patrick Williams, 5 years, $90 million.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I got a situation for you. The Clippers, they're shopping Russell Westbrook.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, he's a tell-him guy.
Mm-hmm.
For the $5 million he gets paid, would you take Westbrook on the Pistons?
Hey, listen, it's been what's been pondered around. Look, the Pistons have been rumored to have interest in Westbrook in the past, and this was an interesting hypothetical to me, especially given the fact that he and Jaden Ivey have such a close relationship, not just as it relates to mentoring, but also as it relates to training, and you can see the similarities in their styles of playing their game. When you're talking about the potential of bringing in a vet who, at this stage, I think Westbrook is probably ring chasing, yes, I do. But at $5 million, and the LA Clippers, after he kind of accepted his player option, said, you know what, they're going to look to the rumors, they're going to look to trade him. Then instantly, my brain started thinking, what would that look like here? Because right now, what is the backup point guard spot for the Detroit Pistons?
True. But do you want a backup point guard that can't shoot? I mean, it's a lot of good that comes with Russell Westbrook, and this is by no means Russell Westbrook hate. I love Russell Westbrook a lot, man. Like, I'm a big Westbrook fan, man, and he does a lot of things good, and I feel like he does get the short end of the stick in the public. He gets the short end of the stick in the public view, but just with this team, I mean, yes, he would be a good mentor to some of the young guys. You know, he's going to come in, he's going to give 100% every game, which is good, but it's just some of the things he does on the floor. The turnovers, I don't think we need more turnovers. CADE already turns the ball over a fair amount. There's the no shooting aspect of this as well. So, I mean, I just don't think he's a good fit here. But would I mind it? No. Yeah, especially if it's only for like a season or two. Why not? But yeah, I just don't think he's the best fit.
The basketball fit is horrendous.
Yeah.
Like on the court, it's an absolute, it makes zero sense at all. But if we're talking about not tanking this year, but just chalking this year up as a developmental year, an evaluation year, like he would be the perfect mentor for Jaden Ivey. And if I'm not mistaken, they have history together too. Do they have a connection, Westbrook and Jaden Ivey?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they've trained together already.
Yeah, okay,
this
that's what
goes
you were
back
saying.
to even this goes back to before his pro days.
Yeah,
they have a connection.
So just knowing how to be a professional, like you said, he brings all those leadership qualities you would want. To a young team like this.
Definitely got a Detroit attitude.
He does. He does.
That's what I'm saying.
He got an attitude made for the city.
Could he come here and be Detroit's Jimmy Butler?
Yes, I think he could.
11 points a game. I don't know.
And
I don't know.
Let me tell you what he did say about Jaden Ivey, because we kind of knew about the connection. And shout out to Corey Woods of the M Live, who actually got this quote and used it in his article as well. But I remember this question. He said, Jaden and I talked throughout the year. I try to stay in his ear, and he's going to be special, Westbrook said. He has all the intangibles to do great things in this league. He knows to continue working on his game, continue working at it. But he's going to be just fine. Detroit has someone special. So I'm looking forward to great things for him in years to come. And it's like sometimes you think about it, you're like, you know what? If you're trying to look for these kind of disgruntled situations, especially for someone like the Clippers, who are probably going to make sure they can maximize in the championship window, have to get rid of some of their draft capital. I wonder how attractive those 3 second-round picks look to a team like the Clippers if you're talking about making a swap for a guy like a Russell Westbrook.
You have to give up
for
3?
a year or two. No. I'm just any of them. Just any of them. You would never give. I don't even think
I thought they would
want
we'd get another pick with Westbrook.
Well, it's $5 million.
You
You're not really taking something off of them, and that's what I'm saying. So for a $5 million contract, do you have a player that they like, a young player that you're going to give up? Are you giving up a guy like a Sasser, or are you giving up a second-round pick
not for Russ.
to take a flyer on a guy like a Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, this changes everything if we got to give up a young player. Not that the Pistons or anything to write home about, but I'm not giving up Sasser for a year rental of Russ. No offense.
No, I would give up one of the seconds, though.
Yeah.
It helps the Clippers be able to kind of bolster some type of draft capital. Gets the Pistons a vet that, honestly, off the bench, you're talking about a person who some of the negatives, you can contain them a little bit more coming off the bench and being more of a high usage guy. But
I mean, another thing
you made
is
some good points though, KG.
Would he even want to play here though? Because I can easily see him coming here and asking for a buyout as well.
He's our tell him guy
to go to a better franchise.
If he came here, he is a tell him guy. And breaking news: Tyrese Maxey agrees to 5-year, $204 million extension.
I was just gonna say that as well too. But how does Philly have all this money? Because you're paying Paul George $211 million for 4 years. You're now paying Maxey $204 million for 5 years. You still have to pay Joel Embiid $106 million for the next 2 years.
That was the only reason why I thought
how do you
that
have
there
this
was
money?
some slight
right
possibility that Tyrese Maxey could find himself on another team. But Philly is, I think they're saying we have to win a championship. We're going to see a lot of teams do this.
It better work. The process is dead, man. They better work.
And this is like the complete opposite of the process. Is Philly going to strike out here as well? I'm
not a big Andre Drummond fan. I'm really not. But I actually think that's a perfect landing spot for him.
It's so funny he went to the guy that tormented him for the first half of his career. Like, it's nuts, man, that he's there now.
I know.
Wow.
It is. And shout out Oklahoma City Thunder and free agent Aaron Wiggins have agreed to a new 5-year, $47 million deal.
Yes. Well, let's take a little break from Pistons talk. Let's talk Red Wings.
Yes,
because they made some moves already, or at least moves that are going to happen. We can think of at 12 o'clock here with Patrick Kane and then the NHL draft. So let's spend this segment talking about the Wings, spend a segment talking about the Tigers.
Let's go.
And we can jump back into the Pistons. We're going to be talking about them a lot this week.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Cool. Hey, tell them about Lady Jane's.
I will. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady James, it's wicked awesome.
Looking awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Why? Because it is technology that is backed by people, and your safety and your security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Man, do I love sports, man. Listen, it's a never-ending debate, man.
Yeah.
Never-ending. The narratives, the perspectives, you know what, the agreements, the disagreements. I love it all, man. KG and I are talking about Philly and what this means for them. And if it's enough, it's a lot of talent. But we've seen Philly find the best way to not win with a lot of talent for a long time.
They are the Philadelphia Embiids. And without Embiid, they are cooked, man. So I like Paul George going there. I just don't see it working, though. I don't think they could beat any of these top teams in 7, man.
You
And
just go disrespect Andre Drummond like that?
Yes,
Come
absolutely.
on, man. The big Penguins?
All disrespect.
Come on, bro. Andre
Drummond not getting you through 7 games, man. I'm sorry.
Let me stop before people think I'm serious.
Prove me wrong, man.
Prove me wrong.
Man.
Take my body.
Why is Broder
moaning during the read?
He's really trying to give his body away,
yo.
man. Hey, who from the chat is gonna take Broder's body? He's really trying to give it away.
Lizzie from Canton.
My name is Lizzie. I'm from Canton.
How are you so quick with this, JB?
Ready, bro.
How is he so quick with this?
Oh, JB is the man. JB is the man.
As soon as you said Lizzie, it was like, boom.
Boom, got it.
This man, he called the finals. He called JB Bickerstaff. He knows when Lizzie is going to just
some
appear.
magic in that titty booth, man. Some magic. He's sucking the magic titty, apparently.
My name is Lizzie. I'm from Canton.
Broder's loving it.
Oh, yeah. Look, she's so blush every time she on the screen.
I mean, she's just got that cute little smile. She's like, hey, I'm Lizzie from Canton. I'm like,
Lizzie needs to write into the show. If you single, Lizzie, we need to make this happen, man. Broder needs
Steve
to
DeYoung said Lizzie from Canton is a saint.
Seriously, she seems so
With 3
wholesome.
exclamation points.
She don't even know she is a prominent part of this show. She
Do you guys remember? And chat, let me know if you guys remember too. Stick and Joey used to. I forget the name of the woman who worked at Woodward Sports, where they would send her on these blind dates.
Yeah,
and Stick and Joey would narrate them like cheap seats. In classic.
Christy.
That's hilarious.
Christy?
Yeah, Christy.
Yeah. She had red hair, a bunch of tattoos.
Yep. That's wild.
Yeah. Sounds like we're bringing that back.
Hey,
I don't know if I'm ready to date on live TV.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
You moaning on live TV, you might as well date somebody. I don't think it's much of a difference.
What is redder, the wings or my cheeks? my face cheeks. Anyways, guys.
Thank you for differentiating.
All right.
We have 5 minutes. Do we just? It was a big weekend for the Red Wings. Let's get into it. We're going to talk more in-depth hockey.
Yes, sir.
Like really dive into this a little deeper with Flannel tomorrow. Justin Jesus is going to V-mix in later this week. But we got to talk about this Patrick Kane signing. We got to talk about the NHL draft. And when free agency opened, there were new rumors floating around. One I really like about a defenseman from the New York Rangers. Like, this is a topic I can actually talk about in the hockey world. Former Michigan Wolverine. But let's start. Patrick Kane returns. Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about Kane. Let's start with Michael Brandsteg-Nygaard. So this was their draft pick, right wing out of Sweden, the Swedish Hockey League.
Hell of a name.
Born in Norway. They drafted him. There was a lot. And I was following Juice's live stream on YouTube on the Yin Yang podcast.
Good job, brother.
Did a fantastic job covering live streaming the NHL draft.
I liked his reaction.
Yes. Cole Yzerman was on the board. Yzerman with an E. Everyone thought Juice was clamoring for Stevie Y to take him. They didn't. They ended up going with. I'm gonna memorize this shortly. Michael Brandsteg-Nygaard out of the Swedish Hockey League. Also. I know the ADHD is showing. How cool was it seeing Steve Yzerman, Nick Lindstrom, and Chris Draper up on stage? Lindstrom making the call. That was epic. Like that, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
So
the big bosses.
There's that. They drafted him. What I've been able to learn about this guy, I like what he can bring to this team. If I'm not mistaken, he'll probably spend another year in the Swedish Hockey League. So he's not going to come to the NHL or even to Grand Rapids immediately. He's a couple years out. But he's a big right winger, an 18-year-old, physically imposing. He's 6'1", 207, a two-way right winger. So he's got a pretty elite shot. I read in a couple different blogs, a couple different articles. Multiple have said he has an elite shot. So I like the sound of that, especially a big guy who can play. He can go, let me make sure I get this language right. He's strong on the forecheck. And he can produce offensive chances from between the dots, low in the offensive zones. Draper had a lot of really good things to say. The article I read in the Free Press about his physicality, about his ability to really get in and be able to do the dirty work. Like when that puck gets thrown into the opposing territory, he's that guy who will get into the corners and dig it out. So I really like him, a well-rounded game. They need some more physicality, which is where I'm going to go next with this Jacob Trouba rumor. I don't want to put any of you guys on the spot. Any comments you have on Michael Brandsteg-Nygaard?
Hey, I'm just being educated right now.
Cool.
Like I'm learning.
See you in 2 years.
Listen, I want to be as invested in hockey in the Detroit Red Wings as I was growing up. Man, it's crazy that like I used to know players down in Grand Rapids, Griffith, and knowing the plan and everything they're gonna do. And it's like the disconnection, becoming a basketball diehard, going to college ball and everything, getting disconnected. It's like I want to be able to jump back in, especially with the Yzer plan in full effect.
100%.
So
Yep.
I like
Shout out to the away fans. Solid pick. Nothing special, but he'll fit in. Plays the style the Wings are looking for. 200-foot player. So
love that. If you see any more comments, that's perfect. Because there are hockey knowers, some puck knowers there in the chat. So feel free. They can run this segment if they want. One of the rumors that surprised me, I didn't think that we'd ever see a possible trade go down like this, but there are rumors that the Red Wings are looking at Rangers captain and defenseman Jacob Trouba, former University of Michigan Wolverine, started his career with the Winnipeg Jets and then moved to New York, got signed with the Rangers, and I forget how quickly he became their captain, but he's a presence. He's a big, strong, physical defenseman. He's that. You're not going to play him probably on the same line as Mo Seider, but that's another line, another defenseman who can play physical, who can be that bruiser, who can, we've talked about a lot, especially near the end of the regular season, when the other team's going after DeBrincat or going after Larkin. You need one of those guys to say, that's my guy, that's my captain. I don't know if the Red Wings had that this year. Yeah. Jacob Trouba is one of those guys. He started for some reason to get a bad rap. And I don't know if he got suspended or fined near the end of the season or in the playoffs for what looked to be kind of a cheap shot. I don't think he's a dirty player. He's just a tough physical player. Yeah. I know he's a good man. He's a good human. Yeah. So I don't think he's dirty, but he's physical. He likes to hit. He's that tough physical presence that we know this Red Wings team needs. You talk about him, if he ends up on the team, him, Sider, Edvinson coming up. We see what Steve Yzerman, even if this Trouba trade doesn't go through, we see what Steve Yzerman, the type of team he's trying to build. We're starting to see what the Lions are trying to play like, that physical, gritty attitude. I don't know what the equivalent is, but with the Red Wings, Steve Yzerman wants to build some toughness, wants to build a beast.
And you know what? A lot of times we talk about the type of builds that should happen for our pro sports team, since 3 of them are still trying to find their way back. And instantly we always go to the Detroit Lions, and maybe that's just unfair. 3 years. They changed around a historically bad franchise, man. I wonder what they would have done if they stepped into a situation that wasn't as bad as where the Lions were, if they could have done it maybe in a year or 2. And so maybe those expectations just aren't it, because Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are absolutely effing elite.
Yeah.
Period. They are the gold standard. You should strive to be like that. But maybe what we see Steve Yzerman doing, who we know is elite too, but maybe the process as it relates to what the Red Wings have to do, and maybe the Pistons under Trajan Langdon are starting to adapt the same type of philosophy. So take your time to do it right. Don't cut any corners. Believe in what you're doing, because it got to the point where the previous Pistons front office, it didn't feel like they believed in what they were doing. When I look at what Steve Yzerman is doing right now, regardless of how much time it's taken, we look at 5-6 years. I've believed in this thing every step of the way, and his moves have made sense. Now you're seeing this thing getting to the place that we all expected it to get, and it's starting to get really exciting.
Yep, and shout out to intern Justin. He was elaborating on what you said.
Perfect.
Trouba brings experience and size that this blue line desperately needs. So
and the away fan double down. Trouba had a big late hit in the playoffs. That's what it was. But he plays decent defense, would take pressure off Mo Sider to handle all the tough assignments, could be a leader. Definitely would be a leader. Like, that's the type of presence I want on this team. Talk about making moves. And Stamkos is the same way, just in a different type of player. He's that offensive force that you would want on your team. He's that guy who can come and add some more power play goals to this team, help on offense. Trouba's that big defender that it's like, again, a little I know about hockey, and when I start thinking about you have a line Sider, next line Trouba, next line Edvinson, that's where I'm like, okay, it's whatever is happening. Stevie Y, I see you. I see you.
Hopefully they still in the market for Stamkos, man. I would like to see him added to this thing too. So
I think the Red Wings are in the mix. We got Tampa Bay. I think Las Vegas is involved. Seattle. He's a wanted man, Stamkos. But
sir,
I just was looking like a boxer right now with the way that he's putting this thing together, and now it's like body shots, and now it was blam, jab right to the middle of your face. And now it's like seeing him being able to kind of put this thing together so meticulously, and kind of seeing exactly where this thing is starting to shape up to be. I am excited.
Yes. Let's take 2 more minutes and finish up on the Red Wings, because and we'll get into we'll get into it deeper tomorrow. But this Patrick Kane contract, getting him at 1 year, $4 million, but the $2.5 million incentives, a lot of that money's tied up on making the playoffs, on Kane playing in a certain amount of games for the Red Wings. I think it's 60. He gets another $500,000 or something. But what this tells me is Stevie Y, I think he expects playoffs this year.
Absolutely.
I don't think I don't think Patrick Kane comes back if he doesn't think that is not just a possibility, but the expectation. There are more moves to come, but just the timeline. This move tells me Kane's not wasting another year.
No, of course not.
He decided to come back to go on a playoff run. I don't know how much longer he thinks he has left, but whether that maybe he gets traded at the deadline, or maybe he's looking for a 2-3 year contract again this next offseason, but he's not wasting a year at this point in his career. So, I don't think Yzerman is going to put all his chips in. I don't think he's going all in. I think he's building this to expect to get into the playoffs. There's still moves need to be made at goalie. There's still some cap things that need to be done, but I like what I'm seeing out of Stevie Y.
It was like similar to last year's Lions. Hopefully, obviously I don't think that the Red Wings are going to be that team that just shoots up and takes over their division. But in terms of being one of those teams where you're moving cautiously in terms of what you do have and where you want to go, it was a lot that we thought Brad Holmes should have done last year, but he knew exactly where his team was and what they were capable of doing. I'm believing Steve Yzerman is at that point, especially if you see him doing some of these free agents type signings, moves, and rumors and reports out there with Steve Yzerman. Shout out to Patrick Kane coming back too. Like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. if you're bringing back Patrick Kane for 1 year and you are sacrificing the end of your career for Patrick Kane, it's got to be because Steve Yzerman told you we're trying to be serious this year about being not just making the playoffs, but being playoff contenders.
Yes.
Being one of those teams that if we can get hot, we know we can have an opportunity to go on a run.
It's time. It's year 6. They almost got in last year. Technically would have. They had the wins, but yeah, it's time, man.
Yeah. If you think about Raymond and Sider likely getting 7 or 8 year contracts, I believe Stevie Y wants to have a team that is built for is in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just said it. I guess all 7 of those years, all 8 of those years.
Yeah.
You can't do it by just going all in this year.
Yeah, of course.
You can't do it. So let's take a break. Let's come back. We'll spend 12, 13 minutes talking about these Tigers. We got to touch on this Craig Monroe story.
Man.
It is wild. It's sad if it's true.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it. But Kool-Aid,
Yes,
tell us
sir.
about Swiss Insurance.
Yeah, let me take a second. That Craig
You
Monroe
take a
stuff is
second. I'll
crazy.
promote. You guys, hey, let's get me in the booth.
All right, let's rock.
Let me fill in on Bally. Let me be one of their analysts.
Right?
I'll do
Might
it
as
for free.
well.
Broder's great at it.
I'll do it for free.
Don't say that.
You and
One
Jason
dozen.
Benetti, man, that'd be nice.
That'd be nasty.
Yeah,
It would.
We don't get this type of content here. When we talk about Detroit sports, we don't get like what you're bringing with these Broder breakdowns and such. You know, the front
Need
office
it.
flannel and some of this other content. So, I'm happy with what we're doing here.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
happy for the squad. But now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees.
Take
or,
that.
Or raising any deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today.
Thought I told you that we won't stop.
313-530-1698. Again, word to my brother Flannel. That number is 313-530-1698. Or visit them online, SwissINS.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Somebody say merge?
Somebody said that Detroit sign shirt.
No one said that Detroit sign shirt. Look, you need to replace that with the hashtag Boodum Kids that you can find in the Woodward Sports shop. All you got to do is go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. I got to tell you about the Tiger sweatshirt that we got up here. And you can't forget about the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election t-shirts, hoodies, and hats as well too. You know they got my vote. Better than the candidates we got out right now. But do yourself a favor and go to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. Remember, football season, 10 more Sundays, everybody.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Wow.
10 Sundays?
Wow.
10 more Sundays.
That's wild.
It's that close.
I'm going to start counting it like that too.
Close.
Bro, Super Bowl incoming.
Let's go.
10
It's the
Sundays.
expectation. This is going to be our first time sitting down watching a Detroit Lions season where the expectation is for them to be the best team in all of football.
Which is so wild when you don't have the best quarterback in the NFC North, according to a lot of people. Like, how is it even possible if Jordan Love is better than Jared Goff?
No, it's Jordan Love's division already, so
right? He should be in the Hall of Fame. Gold jacket loading. Really strong 8 games he had last year. Really strong 8 games he's had in his career.
I don't think people understand how much Jared Goff is winning right now. Just on the field, off the field, at life. He's absolutely winning. Obviously, got married, got 1 ring already, on the way for a 2nd ring.
Yes, sir.
It's a certain confidence, man, a certain swag that Jared Goff just has that I think goes unnoticed because you can't really chart it or track it.
Yeah.
It's not a stat, but that guy just wins.
He's a winning player.
He's just a winner,
He does.
man.
You know who else is winning, too? Jack Campbell. He got married this weekend, too, to his longtime girlfriend. I was about to say fiance. You know the girl who tackled him on the wakeboard last offseason?
Yeah.
Right after he got drafted?
That's a
Everyone
match made
was
in
talking
heaven,
shit
bro.
about Jameson Williams. Oh, man, he's lighting fireworks or something. He's hitting it out water.
Right.
You know, and then
cares?
Jack Campbell's getting tackled by his girl at 150 miles per hour on the open ocean. I'm exaggerating. No, he got married.
I'm exaggerating.
He got married this weekend.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to Shad. He said Goff has more playoff wins than the Lions, with the Lions than Dak and Dakota Prescott.
Yeah. The dude's about to get paid $60 million a year. Brad Holmes is cooking. But Tigers, we gotta hit him. We gotta hit him just a little bit.
Over to the other Jungle Cat.
This shit is depressing at
The
this
Lions
point.
to the Tigers.
Up until literally the moment the game ended yesterday, it was about to be the worst weekend of baseball in the history of Detroit Tigers baseball. Like, the worst thing you could ever imagine happening was about to happen, and it basically did. I mean, the Angels, one of the worst teams in baseball, took 3 of 4. Not just that they took 3 of 4, how they took 3 of 4. Tigers' offense was atrocious, as we know, but it was as bad as it's been all season. They lost game 1, 5-0 to Dyson Davis Daniel, making his major league debut, his first career start in the majors, 5-0.
He had a 5 ERA in AAA. That's what we're talking about right now. So
5 ERA in AAA. Tigers lose 5-0.
Wow.
Game starts at 9:40 p.m. Eastern time. Not on Xfinity. Not a good start to the weekend. Game 2, they lost 5-2 to the Angels.
Of course.
You know how they got those 2 runs?
How did they get them?
Bases loaded walks. Didn't even hit him in.
This is bad.
Didn't even hit him in. Game 3.
Bad.
Another loss.
Did they at least try any bunts?
They got to.
Man.
I'm going to be honest. This game started at like 10-10.
I ain't going to hold you.
What was that?
That third game pissed me off the most. That was the 5-6 game, right?
Yes.
That pissed me off the most.
The bullpen blew it.
Why do they hate Reese Olson so much? Just why?
Reese Olson finally got 5 runs. He was taking on the game with a 5-1 lead, and the Tigers lost 6-5. The bullpen blew it. First 2 Angels runs. I did see this part. They were due to a wild pitch. So Reese Olson, he was cruising. He threw a curveball in the dirt. It got away from the catcher, so a run scored, but it also moved the runner up from second to third. The very next play would have been a double play ball or something. You would have been out of the inning. Instead, they get their second run. Absolute mess. And then game 4. And I want to go back to game 3 real quick because there was an incredible play that you guys got to see. I'm going to maybe tee up that video of Logan O'Hop. Catcher throw.
Did you send me the Slack?
Yesterday, Casey Mize pitched great.
Yeah.
They were looking really good. They were up 7-0. Was 7th or 8th inning, 7-1. Then all of a sudden, the Angels in the 9th inning, Shelby Miller comes in, gives up 5 runs, 2 homers, a 3-run home run, a 2-run home run. The Angels were literally about to steal that game. They had to bring in Chafin or Holton. They brought in Holton at the end. Luckily, closed it down.
Yeah.
So they snuck away with 1. Not good enough. Not good enough. The Tigers are now. Where do I have their? They're 38-46.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this note?
Drifting out of the wild card.
Where did I put that? Shoot, I can't find it. I think they're 38-46, right. 8 games back of the wild card and 15 games back of the AL Central. So
Central is cooked.
On, I think either Wednesday. I think we're going to do it Wednesday. We're going to have front office flannels back. The strategy at the trade deadline, it's starting to really take shape where it's got to be almost a complete
kind of know
sell.
the direction now.
Yeah. This series against the Twins coming up starts tomorrow, by the way. If you can somehow sweep them, maybe we can have another conversation. But
we've been saying that if
I know,
you can somehow
that's
sweep
why
the Angels, if you can somehow sweep, man. It got out of control really fast for this team, man. Like I said, at this point, you got to just look ahead to the trade deadline. But this is going to be a bookmark trade deadline, I feel like, for Scott Harris going forward. We know the philosophy that he wants to have. He wants to continue to build upon this young talent. He doesn't really want to block the young talent. So it's just all about what are you bringing in at this point, man? Because this team desperately needs help, especially offensively.
Yeah, bro, you're hoping Flaherty.
I can feel the pain, man.
Yeah, you're hoping Flaherty starts to. He has a start or two in a row where he looks like the Flaherty of old, which I think he will. You hope Mark Hanna, who's been struggling at the plate recently, he picks it up. Urshela has a couple good games to raise his trade value, but it's a grim time at the moment. I hope they can do something against the Twins. But check out this. Oh wait,
Well, I was gonna ask. Well, how many players do you think we could see get traded at the deadline? Because I've heard Gio, I've heard Flaherty. You know, I've heard all these different names. Maybe even Mark Canha too. So
yeah, I think you got to consider anyone on a 1-year contract. Flaherty, Canha, Urshela. There might be teams interested in Andy Ibanez because of how much he can crush left-handed pitching, which you see the memes. He's like Barry Bonds batting against lefties.
And it's huge strategy-wise in the playoffs.
Yeah, so contending teams where you have that asset on the bench who can also play second, short, third, or first.
Yeah.
That's a valuable asset.
Absolutely.
And then any bullpen arms. I mean, I don't think they're going to move on from Jason Foley. He's got a great contract. They got him for, I think, 3 more years on that great contract. But you know what? Andrew Chafin's struggling, but any of the lefties, Chafin, Holton, Shelby Miller's on a 1-year contract, although he's struggling.
Will Vest, maybe, I don't know.
Will Vest, Bobrisky.
Yeah,
I think any bullpen pitcher. As long as they're not on an amazing contract like Jason Foley, who probably would be your number 1 trade piece out of the bullpen. I think anyone's up for grabs, but the key guy is going to be Flaherty, it's going to be Urshela, and it's going to be Canha, and then maybe Ibanez.
Yeah.
But before we start talking Craig Monroe here to wrap up this segment, you got to see this, and of course it happened against the Tigers. You got to see this throw out from this throw and tag from the Angels catcher Logan O'Hoppe and the shortstop, I think shortstop or second base Luis Guillorme. Check this out. It's insane athleticism.
Oh my!
From the catcher who throws it sort of falling to the sidearm. And I think they slow it down coming up. But the tag, this is like Javi Baez-esque. Look at it. Through the legs.
You really miss Javi Baez, don't you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was cool.
So he's tagging Riley Green through his legs while he's sliding, jumping over him. Just incredible athleticism, hand-eye coordination. A great throw from the catcher. That's a horrible pitch.
Is it a great throw? Because if he misses that, that's definitely a run. So I don't know.
I think the second baseman, he's catching it regardless.
Yeah.
It's whether he's able to make the tag.
Yeah.
I mean, play from second.
He put it in the area, but that could have easily been an error.
Yeah,
like
not normally a good throw. Not necessarily that accurate, but it's how he did it.
But sometimes when you're in a bad spot, those things just go that way.
Yes.
It just his energy is not on the Detroit Tigers side right now. And, you know, my major question is just, you know, what is the philosophy moving forward? Do you hurt this team more if you don't accelerate getting bats, or do you continue to take this kind of patient approach? Because this year it looks like these pitchers, they're not getting the right type of support. I don't know what this does for the young guys who aren't able to see anything out of them or play for something meaningful as well at this stage of what you're trying to do with this Tigers team.
Yeah, Steve DeYoung, if that does not sum up the Tigers season in a nutshell, I'll finish the sentence for you. I don't know what does. Man. Bro, this Craig Monroe news that's coming out.
Break this thing down.
You know, the last couple of weeks since, I think it's been the beginning of June. Was it June or May? I think beginning of June, all of a sudden, he wasn't on Bally broadcasts.
Yeah.
Reports are coming out. He wasn't on the Bally schedule for future broadcasts. And really weird statements made. I think it was from Bally about Craig Monroe's away from the team, away from Bally, dealing with personal matters. All future questions should be directed at Craig Monroe himself.
No.
That's a weird statement
right?
From an employer to
Ask
say.
him.
Yeah, hey.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Ask him. So I had no idea what was going on, but I want to make sure I credit this properly.
Yeah.
Car Barbie. I don't know her real name. Shoot, where did I put this? Oh, here we go. Car Barbie 941 on Twitter this weekend came out with a couple videos, but this sort of long post about Craig Monroe allegedly molesting her when she was a 12-year-old. He was living in Florida, living with her family in Florida when he was in the Rangers minor league system, coming up, chasing his big league career. And she was a 12-year-old. He would molest her for years. Oh my God. Eventually it led to sex. Eventually it led to more. But this kept going throughout his whole career. Again, allegedly, this is what Car Barbie 941 has accused him of. Eventually, even when he was with the Tigers, he would basically pimp her out to his friends. He would invite her up to Detroit, or invite her on the road with the team, and basically farm her out to sexual favors to his friends. I know Joel Zumaya's name was named. I
saw that.
It seems like an absolute mess. We're talking, hey, do this and I'll buy you $1,000 bag. Yeah. I'll give you $1,000. He'll pay her for a lot of these things. But it seems like he manipulated her from a young age, molested her, had sex with her. Obviously, we'll learn more details, but it would be the R word that we don't want to say online. Like, if this is true, Craig Monroe's the scumbag of all scumbags.
Oh, absolutely.
This is reprehensible. Go to jail forever. I have no empathy for him or anyone who does something like this.
There's no place for that at all.
This is such a weird topic to talk about. I don't want to defend. I'm not defending anybody in this. Right. Yeah. But when we see the things that have come out, and this is a problem with women or men, anybody lying in situations like this, you go back to Trevor Bauer. You go back to Michael Irvin. This happens time and time again, especially recently, of false accusations. Matt Ariza, the punter for the Bills, accused of when he was in college, being at a party and doing bad things. That threw off their entire life, their entire career, and it ended up being a lie. I don't know what's true here. If what's true, Car Barbie 941 says is true, man, I am praying for her. I hope that she can still move on and live not move on, but like live a normal life, get through this in whatever way possible. I can't imagine going through something like this. So you want to respect her.
Absolutely.
And I hope this isn't a lie.
You really hope something like this isn't true. Of course, I was a fan of Craig Monroe, the player and commentator.
Me too.
And even dating back to my channel 7 days, you would hear certain stuff, Bally Sports once was Fox Sports Detroit. And, he always was known to be kind of an eccentric personality. I've heard different things here and there about him, but nothing ever like crazy like this,
There's like some drinking issues. I think he got a DUI.
Yeah, but nothing like to this extent. And when Maz broke the news to me last week, he wouldn't give me all the details, but he said he compared it to the Wander Franco situation, and he said it was worse. Ooh. So, you just really hope that this isn't true, man. But if it is, he needs to be locked away. We of course want to pay respect to the victim in this situation, and we just have to let the justice system, or whatever take its due. But it's just bad news, man. Bad news.
It's bad news, and it's just think about even with the Cam Sutton stuff. There was so many different stories that came out, and ultimately it wasn't quite what any of those other stories had said that it was.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to make sure that we took the time for any potential victims that you were allowing the space for them to kind of have their justice as well. And so similar situation here. It's like it's one where you're like, yo, this is crazy, absolutely crazy if this is a real true story. And you also don't want to believe that the alleged or the assumed victim is making any parts of this up either.
Yeah. Yeah. JB?
This is crazy.
No, I was just going to say just prayers up to her and her family during this whole situation that they're going through right now. I know it can't be easy at all. I honestly didn't know of this whole situation that was going on with Craig Monroe or anything like that. But now it's obviously, as you see, it's come to light now. What he has been doing in his past is very dark that you never want to see any broadcaster have. And it's just terrible timing, terrible news that this has to happen and that he has to do this. But if it is completely true, which obviously you have to believe her and take her credit, take her word. This man needs to be locked up. He needs help, and it's a better place for Tigers baseball without him being on the network at all.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We'll wrap it up there. There'll be more to come. Obviously, there's only so much we can comment on, but that was a story. Keep reading up on it. Again, we hope whoever's the victim in this, prayers to that person.
Yeah.
Prayers to that person. Kool-Aid, before we
Yes,
get back to what's trending with JB Smooth, could you actually, you know what, Kool-Aid, I'm going to tell him about Soroki's because they got some delicious
talk to him.
crispy chicken and pizza and biscuits.
No lies.
I hear.
Never lie.
Soroki's
Never lie.
crispy chicken and pizza, they're taking over Michigan. They're known for their hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They're doubling the number of restaurants this year. They just had their grand opening in their new Madison Heights location, so go check them out. Be sure to stop in and try them at a mega station near you. Go to www.sorokis.com.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month. Or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Dreaming a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, they're back and they're here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You can catch him, Dr. Pierce, every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday via Armani and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy at DMAC Trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And we are back, man. What up, though, people? This is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you all for choosing to kick off your day and your week with the Woo Crew. This is month 5 for us, man. And it feels like it's been 5 years. I love this crew. It's been an awesome time, and I know we have a lot more to go. Hopefully we can take this thing into well into our old age.
Yeah, 5 months. We're gearing up for the fall for football season. We did start February 9th. I know there are people out there that like to, say we started all of Q1. They like to throw out all that misinformation and claim, blah, 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 blah. But we started middle of February, 5 months in, baby, and we are rolling.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also, I wasn't on a show a year ago at this time, but you hear it's the summer, it's the dead time of year. We were literally cutting out segments on July 1st. We're not even talking Lions, and there is too much to talk about.
Yeah.
I dig it.
It's because Detroit sports fans are sickos. They don't like to admit it. They don't like to admit it, but you guys are sickos. We've seen it. We stay true and consistent to the content and cover it with a passion and with an authenticity. Even if we all disagree, people have resonated. So, and you see what Broder is doing here. I think it's he's telling me that it's time to cook up. JB, let's rock, man.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Bizzle.
Let's ride.
Fellas, chat family, what's going on? Amazing weekend for sports. I got to shout out UFC fight on Saturday. That was good. Also, AEW Forbidden Door, a nice addition as well too. But I got to get your guys' grade on this dunk. Kool-Aid, I'm coming straight to you for this one.
Let's rock, man. I'm ready.
With the pole vault as well.
Damn.
Ooh.
Damn.
All right, let me see this one more time.
brother.
I'm gonna look at the other TV now.
Look at this here. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy. It's like, I know it doesn't look as flashy, but what he did is absolutely crazy.
That's tough, man.
It's tough to do.
Who is it? Is this Derrick Jones Jr.?
That's crazy.
no clue.
And he cleared it. That's tough, man.
Kind of looks like Derrick Jones Jr.
That's tough. If you walk in the gym, he's definitely gonna be somebody. Bro, have you playing? You playing?
Right.
Yeah, you on my 5?
Throw
You
the
on my-
lobs.
Yep.
Throw the lobs up.
That is Jay Clark, the jumper.
I'm like, bro, to come set the pick and roll for me, and then back door.
He and somebody drew lead.
Yeah,
He
I like
definitely
that.
probably is in someone's Drew League. What do you guys give that on a grade, a scale of 1 to 10? What you think?
That's
Did he
a
win in the
10,
dunk
bro.
contest?
Difficulty 10 in terms of like
Right.
flash and everything. It didn't look, super flashy, but
I can't dunk or pole vault.
yeah.
Pole vault.
I like it, man.
I like it as well too. KG,
What up, though?
I don't know about this one, man. You're gonna have to get your boy Cam Newton. Shout out to him and his
come on,
podcast, 4th and 1. But
Dang.
my man is a little extra spicy with these new WNBA players' looks.
Who is that?
Well, speaking of stepping,
I mean, she is a baddie. Yeah.
I like Cam Newton, dog.
Kaiser Gondrasek.
Oh, she got cut too, I thought.
NBA best dress. She got so many flavors now. Right there. Right there.
Yeah, that's
And before
That's
somebody
mean.
say goofy shit where it's like, yo, a compliment is not me hitting on that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the comments.
Okay, straight up.
But this young lady looks amazing.
Yeah.
She giving what she's supposed to give, and you know what it's about, Pig?
What is it?
The sister got a walk on her.
She
do.
She got
She
that
do.
posture. You dig what I'm saying?
Come on now. What you doing?
Dun, 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 dun. Play that one more time, man.
Yeah.
Papas.
It's pretty
Look at her.
nasty.
She know what she doing.
Yeah.
Not to over.
KG, get your boy, man.
I mean,
Shout out to Cam.
I mean, what's wrong with it,
a
man?
compliment. It's not hitting on her.
What's wrong with it? And she ended up getting cut from the Chicago Sky too. And
Oh.
it caused quite the uproar on X, man. But I'm not mad at that, man. I mean, the only thing I don't like is he dressed like a slave owner. But that's besides that, I mean, everything else was in line.
Dang.
Whoa.
KG from the top row.
I mean, he dressed like the Colonel, man, like KFC and shit. Like, I don't know what that's about.
I forgot who said it, but somebody say he looked like the Peanut Man.
Who is that?
The
On
Planters
that
guy?
man?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I wonder.
Peanut.
Serious question for you guys. Fortunately, this doesn't involve race, but it involves.
Unfortunately, it
gender.
does.
Well, you know, I would ask you, like
It's just.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. We rock with you, man.
like,
I love
do you
it.
think the WNBA players are they cool with that? And I say that because I mean they're dressing up, they're fashionable, and as men, like they look gorgeous. Like there are some beautiful ladies, and they dress pretty. They show some skin. Like, should we? Is it okay to not catcall, but like talk about how good they look?
I think it's okay. It's done with taste. Like the way Cam did it is kind of done with taste.
Is that a little much?
He's not going overly. You know, he's not doing anything disrespectful. I think it's okay because, like you said, they're dressing like that. Not to say that they want like a shitload of attention, but as long as you're doing it respectfully, I don't see the problem.
And I say that because it could bring them a lot more attention. Like, I don't mind that being a part of it because I'd rather see what they're wearing to the game than Russ Westbrook.
Than SGA in a mesh shirt. Like, I'm good on that.
I don't need dudes in skirts. I want to see the women.
Well, of course. of course we want to see the women.
There have been dudes who wear dresses.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the whole fashion scene these days, but there are clothes that dresses.
I don't want to see dudes in skirts. I want to see women.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you want to see
women.
I agree. I would like to see women in skirts rather than dudes in these mesh shirts and all kind of crazy ridiculousness that they're wearing as it is. But hey, they probably get paid a buttload for all that crap that they have to wear. But Broder, I gotta ask you, how easy is it to throw to first base?
To throw to first base?
Yes.
In what context? Like
just how easy is it to throw in first?
Like from a shortstop or as a pitcher fielding a bunt?
As a pitcher.
Fielding a bunt?
Yep. Let's say you caught a hop.
What?
Let's say you caught a hopper and you're about to throw to first base.
It's so easy, it's hard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you get it on the mound, a comebacker.
It's like a receiver when they're wide the hell open and they're the only one in the backfield and then the ball's coming their way.
You're just close enough where you can't throw it as hard as you can. You're aiming. It's everything you're doing. Everything you wouldn't do when you're pitching, you need to do when you're throwing to first base.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
How easy is it to throw to first base when you're a little intoxicated?
Oh, maybe they get the nerves down. I don't know. Let me see. I think you're queuing something up here.
I am. Check this out.
Make a throw to first with drunk goggles when a custom glove.
With the drunk goggles.
Wait, what?
They put on drunk goggles to throw to first base, and it didn't go well.
Dale.
Oh my word.
Sailed it.
A baseball's
sailed it.
It's not a sport. Oh, nice throw.
Okay.
Oh, was he gonna try to hit?
Yeah, that was a nice throw though.
Baseball's not one of the sports you would be good at playing drunk. Actually, I don't understand how even guys, dipping in baseball, you get a little head buzz.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want your reaction time to be any slower at the plate than you only have 400 milliseconds
right
to hit a ball. And there are a lot of limbs, especially as someone who's tall. Your body's just got to all come together. Yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah.
That one dude who threw it well to first, impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Very impressive. I will agree. And finally, I'll end it on this one right here. I don't know if this pass is as cold as we think it is, but let me know what you guys think.
Oh!
I think it's cold.
Ooh, come get your son.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. Somebody was like, yo, one of the teammates was like,
was that the
I
guy
like
who made
this
it?
one, man.
Was that the kid who made it? Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, oh my gosh, that pass.
That pass is crazy.
That layup is like getting a comebacker to the pitching mound.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, you just had a great pass behind the back. You're wide open. Just a layup.
Bro, look. And it's a little detail. It's the spin that he puts on the ball. Look at the spin right there.
Oh my God.
Right there. The spin he puts on the soil. You get a little bit of that spin back action, puts it right in the pocket for his teammate that cashes in on the layup. How many times in youth basketball do you see a good pass?
Never.
And then they blow
always
the layup.
Always.
If you're the father of the kid that got crossed up, you got to argue with the ref or something. You can't just leave your kid out there like that.
You do.
You got to start. Hey, that was illegal. Like that, he carrying. Like you got to do something. That's nasty.
You got to get 25 in
Hey,
NIL
he pushed
deal.
off. He hooked him something.
Yeah, right.
Just for his confidence, man. His confidence.
Give him an NIL deal. Start him young, but not too young.
Get that man an
Yeah,
NIL
Ryan's reaction,
deal, man.
that curve on the ball during the pass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just that little bit of spin on the ball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's that little bit of spin, but that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's get into mailbag.
Great job, JB Smooth.
JB Smoothness, you're the man. That was what's trending with JB Smooth with 4 O's and a V.
JB Bickersmooth.
JB Bickersmooth is the new coach of
We
the
got JB
Pistons.
McCarthy. We got JB Bickersmooth. We got to figure out who the rest of these JBs are. Maybe we'll have like a Mount Rushmore of JBs.
Oh, my God.
No doubt. Kool-Aid, can you tell the people, we're not going to go to break. We're just going to read, we're going to pay some bills. Can you tell them about the Randy Wise?
You know what? I can
classic?
do that. I will. How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? That's pretty legendary. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you could round off our foursome. At WoodwardSports.com, or scan the code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive. And
Ooh.
You got the Feldman read, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's right.
You want to put a little English on it, Mr. Chase Hamley?
Yeah, that's right, man.
In the Bill Raftery voice, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. They got over 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Check us out there sometime this July.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, out at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. They're awesome. Feldman Chevrolet. They are Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
That's right.
They also sponsor our mailbag segment.
It's time for the Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group.
It's time. I see some good ones coming in. I got to read one from Edge.
Yes, sir.
Who put one in early. Mailbag. Nate Edgington. Wyatt Langford hit for the cycle yesterday. He was taking one pick after Max Clark, who was treading water in AA. Did we make the wrong choice again? Not yet. I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Wyatt Langford's the Ron Holland choice. Max Clark is the Ron Holland. It's a choice. It was a selection because he fits what Scott Harris and this new organization want to build the team like.
Yeah.
Good pitching and great defense in the outfield.
Yeah.
That is in Max Clark. He also has the tools on offense to hit for average. He's a 5-tool player. He's got to develop some power, but he just got moved up to AA. He's going to struggle for a little bit. Eventually, he'll figure it out. Wyatt Langford hasn't had the best year in the big leagues.
He hasn't.
It's very impressive that you skip the That doesn't happen often. Wyatt Langford is an outlier. It may prove to be the wrong decision. It's too early to tell.
Big fact.
He was in college a year and a half ago, Wyatt Langford, playing against college players, college pitching. Max Clark was in high school. Yep. It could end up being the wrong choice. I'm not ready to go there yet.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. LFG, mailbag. I'm a hockey idiot. Hey, me too. But interested in the Red Wings free agency and explained the new big rookie is the new top draft pick strength working without the puck around the net, setting screens, digging the puck out, doing dirty work not evident in a box score. Yes. The little I know, that's what I hear about this guy.
And we have more breakdowns on the way on this show as well as relates to the Red Wings.
Facts.
So definitely continue to stay tapped in.
Yes. Charles McClain, mailbag. If Pistons can only sign 2 of the 3 players I mentioned, which 2 would you prefer? Isaac Okoro, Caleb Martin, Jalen Smith.
The first 2, because I do believe that Jalen Smith signed a free agent contract. I forgot where he went. I think it was the Chicago Bulls.
He would have been a nice backup big. But
I think it was the Bulls.
Yeah,
I like
Okoro. That's the one that CADE Cunningham, I think, dunked on and pointed at his fam.
He wears the glasses, right? Jalen Smith?
Yeah. But at this point in time, you're looking at Caleb Martin and Isaac Okoro, which none of those would have been bad additions.
Not at all.
If the Pistons can find a way.
I like Isaac Okoro.
And we know that Bickerstaff and Isaac Okoro, they have the connection. Bickerstaff has been credited with kind of being fond of who Isaac Okoro is as a player and understanding how to unlock or get the best out of him as a player. So I would not be opposed to Isaac Okoro as a Detroit Piston.
Yeah. Shad 216 JF mailbag. Are Pistons fans slow or something? We were told by Langdon what the plan would be, but yeah, fans are upset about not making free agent signings.
Yeah,
I mean, just what's that plan again, Kool-Aid?
The plan is honestly not necessarily take things slow, but to do things the right way without skipping steps.
Right.
At this stage and where they are going to be taking on bad contracts for the hopes of stockpiling draft capital and future assets, as well as making sure that whatever you're bringing in is able to play, not be necessarily super injured, and able to contribute on the court, not like some of the hobble vets we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a different window. But we said this at the beginning of Trajan Langdon's. I saw it. We're going to talk about it. I just saw the breaking news. We said this at the beginning of Trajan Langdon's era is just do things the right way, man.
Yeah.
Just do it the right way. If you're going to do it, be true to your vision. Do things the right way. And that's pretty much what he's doing.
Do I need to pause and not?
Well, it's nothing Pistons related except for the fact that it was a person potentially that the Pistons were going to be moving after.
Board.
Damn it. Yeah.
Another one off the board.
Yeah. Isaiah Hartenstein. He has signed, the center has signed a 3-year, $87 million deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Wow. There's their Klingon.
Yeah.
They drafted Edie.
Yeah.
He can just he can sit on the bench and develop or be a backup center. Now they got Hartenstein. That's a great move for them. Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren.
That's tough, man. And you know what?
Shea.
It's sad to see a lot of the targets that Pistons fans and us have kind of talked about go.
Yeah.
And that's why, just to, I guess, round out my point, that's why I'm not going to be upset at Trajan Langdon for following through on his vision.
Yeah.
No matter what the timing is, but I'm also not going to scoff at the fact that Detroit Pistons fans are sickos who've continued to stay in the trenches.
Yeah.
And it's going on a decade and a half of mediocre to poor basketball.
Yeah.
We haven't even had, okay, there's some good stretches. It's been the most mediocre basketball for maybe 30% of the last 15 years, and bad basketball, including the buffoonery years. As bad as it was with the losses the last couple of years, I promise you the buffoonery years was worse basketball and a worse culture to kind of take in as a Pistons fan. So I get it if they're upset that this thing may take a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame fans at all, but we got to realize that, one, with this new regime, the only way you're really going to get players is through trade acquisition. This is why Trajan brought that up in his press conference. The free agent market is not looking so hot, man. And you, at one point, you had agents telling players to not come here, not work out for this team. So that just goes to show you the stigma kind of going around the league with this team. But you have to be prepared for trade acquisition. That's really the only way we're going to get any more players. But be patient,
and
man.
Players that a lot of fans probably don't want or think are bad deals. This is a situation where Pistons aren't getting anything nationally televised. They're not on anybody's radar. They're not an organization right now that really helps to lift the value of a player that's incoming that could go somewhere else.
Mason Leach wants to actually go after Klay Thompson.
I know that
not the fit timing fit.
The only way he's taking a pay cut is with a contender. So for the Pistons, that price tag is going to be insane.
What about this? Bada bing, bada boom. Mailbag. What are the chances that Duran and Ivy are Pistons at the start of the season? Has anything that's happened so far changed?
It could be high.
I think it's a decent chance. I can't write it off because I don't know exactly what Trajan Langdon's going to do. But based on what he said his desire is for this team in terms of starting off the build this way, I would assume that they're going to be here.
Okay. What about this? Rando Smalls mailbag. Cooley, what under the radar free agent could fit the Pistons that maybe you're thinking about?
Man, all of them have been signed. Najee Marshall got signed as well, which that one was a gut punch too. So at this point in time, I'm just looking to see exactly what they're going to do on this kind of acquisition market to see what breaks free. Obviously, when you're talking about some of the high price guys, you're talking about Levine, Ingram, Jeremy Grant, players that can step in right away, but that just doesn't seem to be what Trajan Langdon's vision is.
How about Monty Bates?
So we'll have to see.
I'm seeing a lot of Miles Bridges in the chat. I tried to tell y'all.
I like Miles Bridges.
I tried to tell y'all, man.
I just don't know how it fits what Trajan Langdon said he's trying to do. It will be a flat out signing. It doesn't bring them anything else except for what they get during this period in time.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those kind of 6'7" to 6'9" players added to this roster now. And so it's like, I like him. He would definitely help. He is that bucket next to CADE Cunningham. I just don't know how much sense it makes to the Pistons overall plan. But
nobody said you had to give him a long term. Give him a quick 2-year deal. I don't see the harm in that. You got cap space.
That's just
fair. And nobody to spend it on.
Exactly. But that's also if he's not a player that other teams are in demand for as well. When you talk about even a guy like a Kelly Oubre who Pistons fans wanted, I kept telling people Kelly Oubre is not coming here for what he signed in Philly for, and he's not coming here to play cheap either.
Yeah.
And so that's the other caveat here. If you can get him on a cheap 2-year deal,
I don't see why he can't. He got off the court issues, so it's not like he could just come in demanding a certain price tag.
Yeah, and that's the other caveat there. If those off the court issues are things that are mitigated, then hey, it's a good deal. I can't even lie or hate about that, especially in a league like the NBA or in pro sports in general, where we get second and third chances. Pro guys are getting 10th and 11th and 12th chances. So Cam Sutton just got signed by Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, went back home.
Yeah, and you got Miles Bridges in this situation. Apparently,
Kevin Porter Jr. just got a contract.
KPJ, you're right, and I've talked about him on this network, man.
All right,
so I feel you.
He's back in the NBA.
NBA contracts are insane, by the way.
Yeah,
Penny Sewell just got $128 million. Freaking Scotty Barnes just got $226 million.
Scotty Barnes, bro. You got people crying about CADE Cunningham getting a max.
Yeah. Patrick Williams got 90.
Patrick Williams got 5.
All guaranteed too, by the way. All guaranteed.
Yep.
Wild. Couple more here real quick. Big Con 51 mailbag. Would the Cucumbas beat the Tigers? If G-Baby could return, they're definitely.
Oh, yeah,
they could score more, too.
Yeah. Tigers can't do nothing with them right now.
Love it when you call me Big Papa. All right, last question. From John Effing Lord. Mailbag. Who do you think is taking Paul Heyman's place on the new bloodline? Heyman.
So, it's funny that I said that. I brought this up to JB last week.
Paul Heyman.
Rikishi. I feel like Rikishi will make a return and he will be the new bloodline's wise man, man. Because them is his kids, man.
Rikishi, bro.
The family lineage is crazy. They all cousins and sons and all that. So, but he's definitely related to the new version of the bloodline. I think Rikishi would make a great new wise man for them.
I kind of agree with that. Like, I would like to see Rikishi back in here, at least take over that role. And who knows, maybe down the line at Survivor Series, you get The Rock and Roman teaming up together with the Usos to take on, you know, old bloodline versus new bloodline. But
you know it's coming.
Shout out to Paul Heyman, though, as well, too. A master of his craft. My man didn't sleep for 2 days for that Friday Night SmackDown attempt. He didn't dye his hair black. Right. My man went to the extremes to try and pull off how stressed out he was just for this interaction.
And he taking bumps at like 60, man. Shout out to him, man, taking that bump through the table. That was pretty gnarly.
It was wild.
I do got a mailbag question as well for Matthew Broder. Do you know the wrestler Rikishi?
Excuse me?
Do you know the Rikishi, the wrestler?
I think so.
Do you know what his famous move was?
Come on, brother.
Is this Lion King related?
No.
It has nothing to do with Rafiki?
No, not at all.
No, it's the wrestler, man.
I don't even know how you pulled that one, but yeah, not at all.
Rafiki getting freaky, little dicky bars.
I'll try to pull some videos tomorrow for you, bro.
You know what? Let's just save it, man.
Save it.
So, you'll know it when you see it, I feel like.
Don't Google, don't look into.
Don't do it.
Rafiki's
don't do it.
power move.
Rafiki.
Oh, snap.
Rikishi was great,
I had a college teammate named Rafik. But yeah, I did.
Yeah, shout out Rikishi. Too cool, man. He hit Stone Cold with the car, man.
I was at that pay-per-view too.
Classic.
It's a requirement tomorrow. What's training with JB Smooth? I need to get freaky with Rafiki. What? All right, cool. Take us out.
Oh man, yo, hey, let's get this chest pass going.
Here we go. Ron Holland, this is how you chest pass.
I don't think you need to tell him how to chest pass.
So. That's the mechanics right
He wouldn't be in the NBA if he couldn't chest pass.
Hey, shout out to Dante151, $4.99 super chat. Right at the buzzer of overtime, he says, remember Rikishi ran over Stone Cold Steve
told
Austin
you, man.
And did for The Rock, did it for his family.
I did it for The Rock.
Right.
For The Rock.
That was a great storyline. Shout out to Attitude Era, man.
Man, yo, the likes are up, way up, way up, way up. If you haven't gotten your opportunity to, go ahead and satisfy that like button, man. Go ahead and treat it nice. And let's continue to have this thing be a good day. Support the rest of the shows on the network as well. This has been a good show. We talked really everything. Even the Lions got a little bit of talk and a little bit of play today. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about them as we get closer and closer to the season, as well as college football is right around the corner as well. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But this has been a good show. Shout out to that dude, Justin, our sixth man of the squad. Can't wait to get you back on the show, brother. Thank you for supporting. Still holding down your jobs behind the scene as well. Shout out to Flannel Sam. Saw him walk in about 40 minutes ago. It's going to be a big energy today. Our brother, all love, man. Crushed the show today. The vet of not just this squad, but Woodward Sports in general. Now we move over to our elite, illustrious, wonderful, stupendous, marvelous. Hey, that's a new one. Our booth, man.
Damn right.
Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG in the sound booth, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
Yes, sir. Thank you to the chat. Another great episode. Thank you to my team, man. And looking forward to this week, man. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Hey, and you know what? I see Terrell Lamar in there. Terrell Lamar, put your question in there really, really quickly, man. I was trying to read it out.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I can't see it.
Yeah, real quick, man. And shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP. He was cooking today, man. So, you know, we already know what he's doing in the titty poof. That is JBSMOOOOOV.
Breasts.
I see the bar. I see that pillow behind you, too.
Oh, you see the pillow? Oh.
I see that pillow, man. I see you took it out the window to be
that's
be
a bar.
kind to.
Yeah, I stick it out the
KG.
window just so everyone can see the champ over here. But yo, shout out to the chat, everyone in there. Shout out to Lizzie as well too. You are a staple of this show.
Call in, Lizzie.
Call in, Lizzie. Wherever you at, just call us. Just call us.
313-552-6322.
Broder's waiting for you.
248-890.
That sounds like Broder's number.
Right?
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Terrell Lamar, what's Kool-Aid's take on Rookie of the Year odds for Ron Holland?
Yeah.
In a draft full of potential, he has a shot, but you got some players that are probably going to get better opportunities.
Yep.
Maybe be in some better winning situations. And lately, that's what the NBA, with their awards, has favored. You look at CADE Cunningham, who, to me, best rookie, but he didn't necessarily win that award. So I do believe he has a shot to be kind of mentioned and be kind of maybe in the games when you talk about the rookie sophomore game and such. Maybe make some noise at Summer League, but I don't think he has the best shot to win Rookie of the Year. But I'm not going to cap what Ron Holland can do. His press conference, seeing his footage, get more familiar with him a lot more. It's like, yo, this kid is on a mission. And the last thing any of us should do, you probably don't want to put a limit on what he can be. So let's see what he got. Let's rock. But that's for you, Terrell Lamar. I know the last couple times we didn't get to your question. I'm glad we were able to. But shout out to Matthew Boat, our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer. Do great work always, especially on this show and all your contributions. Thank you, brother. And it's your boy Brandon at KD Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer. This has been Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you, chat family. You guys are the best part of this thing. Thank you for choosing to kick off your day with the Woo Crew. Have a blessed one, everybody. Have a blessed one.